Can we turn that light off, please? Thank you. What do you look for in a friend? A couple weeks ago, a young lady from the first and second grade group stopped me in the hallway down there. She stopped me with a big, bright smile, and she said something like this. We have a new classmate in our room. I get to be her friend. That big, bright smile, I could feel it inside. And I get to see things like that most every week, most every day in those hallways. Someone is having a bad day and I see a classmate giving that sad one a hug. Someone is feeling a bit left out and I see some other classmate including them in. I see someone out of sorts. We have days like that, don't we? When we're out of sorts. And I see classmates putting up with each other. I know it doesn't always work that way. Because I know I don't always work that way. But I know someone who does. And today he invites us. Now, this invitation we're about to hear, it might sound too good to be true. He says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Why might I say that sounds too good to be true? Because I would imagine that most all of us know friends who are just good time friends. No friends who are just good people friends. And what do I mean by that? Good time friends invite us to come out and play. Or good time friends might invite us out for an evening of fun together. But good time friends will only invite us as long as there is a hope of having a good time. Getting something that they might want for life. And if we're in trouble, if we're in hurt, if in some way we have a need and we need something from them, then those good time friends seem to be further and further away. And the invitation, well, it stops. Because they care more about themselves and their good times than they might care about us. But Jesus isn't just a good time friend. And his invitation shows it. Jesus doesn't say, "Come to me, all you who are strong and heavy. Come to me, all you who have your life together. Come to me, all you who have your act together and everything is going well." No, Jesus doesn't invite like that, does he? Instead, he says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened." Jesus is a friend who cares about us even when we are sick and tired, hurt and heartbroken, worn out, and not a bit of fun to be around. Jesus doesn't turn his back on us. He doesn't leave us. He doesn't stop inviting us just because we don't have some good time to share with him. But Jesus is the kind of friend who promises to be there for us, to care for us. And he doesn't just say, "Well, here's what you need to do." We have some friends like that, don't we? When we're going through something, when we have some troublesome issue in our life, and they come along like they have all the answers to make things right for us. This is what you need to do. Do this, do that, more of this, more of that. And they seem to have an answer for everything that's going wrong, but they don't seem to really understand. And they sometimes don't even seem to care to understand what is really going on in here. Just do what I say and everything will be all right. Friends like that can be tiresome, right? And sometimes we do that to people. Sometimes we do that to people with Jesus. When a friend is having a problem, we might say, well, you should go to church more, you should read the Bible more, you should pray more. And all that can be completely 110% right. But sometimes what we do is, instead of sharing a caring Jesus, we make Jesus into a law. Do more Jesus, and everything will be fine. Instead of sharing a caring Jesus, we add on a weight of a load of bossy Jesus. And bossy Jesus can be kind of tiring. But Jesus didn't come to be bossy Jesus. And I should make sure to make it clear, Jesus also didn't come to be yes friend Jesus. Yes, do whatever you want. Yes, whatever you like. Yes, whatever will feel good to you. Yes, whatever makes you feel good. Jesus didn't come to be yes friend Jesus. Jesus doesn't say yes to the sin that would kill us and damn us. Jesus doesn't say yes to the sin that would cut us off and tear us away from God forever. Jesus isn't just a yes friend who says yes to whatever we want, yes to whatever makes us feel good about ourselves. No, Jesus is the real kind of friend who gives us what we really need. And he is the kind of friend that we really need. And sometimes we might wonder, how would he know that? He's up there in heaven where everything is nice and comfy and cozy, where everything always goes right up there in heaven, where life is good. How would he know what kind of friend I need here? How would he know? How would he understand what I'm going through here? Ever feel that way? And we get to remember that Jesus was also here. And he lived the life here. Maybe I should say he lived the death here. He lived poor and hungry. He lived with people who wanted to run his life. He lived with people who just don't get it. He lived with people, with friends that turned on him, betrayed him, ditched him. We might think with friends like that, who would need enemies? But Jesus also had enemies. Enemies who tried to bully him, enemies who called him names, who beat him, who spit on him. He had enemies and friends who called him wrong, even when he was right. And sometimes they called him wrong because he was right. He had enemies who had him nailed to the cross, and he had friends who let it happen. Don't ever think that Jesus couldn't understand what we go through in this world. Because Jesus does. And he cares. And how do I know? Well, earlier I said that Jesus isn't just a good people kind of friend. You may have heard the saying, birds of feather flock together. You ever hear of that? The look on your face is saying, no, I haven't ever heard that. Maybe my generation has heard that, huh? Birds of feather flock together? Yes, okay, good. Not just a Minnesota thing. Birds of feather flock together. What does that mean? Birds that look alike and act alike, they tend to get together a lot. And if birds are different, if they look different, if they act different, well, they go and they find their own kind. And sometimes we treat people that way, right? Sometimes we're treated that way. That if other people are different, we stay away. If we're different, other people stay away from us. But Jesus doesn't treat us like that. And he doesn't look for friends. He doesn't act like a friend like that. Jesus doesn't just look for those who would fit in with him, who would be his kind of people, which is really good because why? Because none of us can measure up to him. But Jesus didn't say, come to me, all you who are good and right. He didn't say, come to me, all you who are loving and caring and faithful and kind. He didn't say, come to me, all you who can be good church people and school people and good family people and good neighbor people. No, Jesus didn't say that. He's not the kind of friend who just invites his kind of people, the good kind of people. No, Jesus invites all. All who are tired and worn out, trying to get by, trying to make things work. All those who are tired and worn out, crushed under a load of troubles. All those who are tired and worn out, crushed under a load of guilt, eating our insides out. Jesus invites all. And that means Jesus invites me and Jesus invites you. Come to me and I will give you rest. Jesus' invitation there isn't a job offer. If you do what I want, then I will make life right for you. He's not saying that. And Jesus' invitation here isn't a sales offer. If you pay the right price, Jesus will make life right for you. No, Jesus isn't looking to get something from us, but Jesus is looking to give something to us. That's right, Jesus isn't one of those friends who's just looking to get something out of us. But Jesus is one of those friends who is looking to give us exactly what we need. So Jesus invites us, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. We might think, what is it that would make us so tired? What is it that would be so heavy that we need God to give us rest? Well, it's not just homework and school day after day after day. It's not just snow coming at all the wrong times. It's not just having to go to work where we might not be appreciated. Even if we didn't have work or school or homework or any of that, life would still be tiring and heavy. Why? Because every day we wake up in a world of sin and death. Every day we wake up in a world of fighting. People fighting to get what they want. Sometimes fighting just for the sake of fighting. Every day we wake up and everything we see around us will sooner or later break down, fall apart, get lost, get stolen, or die. And that can be incredibly frustrating, tiring, and heavy. And so what do we do after a day like that? Perhaps what we do is we sit down at home on the couch. Hopefully we don't do this in our cars. We sit down at home on the couch with our smartphone and we go to our social media. Maybe we go to Facebook and we look for some peace and some rest over there. And what do we find? At least this is what I find. I don't measure up. Because everything I see there is so much better. All the pictures are more cute than I, or me. Everybody there seems to be going out to eat all the time. They all seem to be having a party. They all seem to have the cutest kids. They all seem to be having they all seem to be living the life. And I can't ever keep up with that. And that can be tiring. And then what makes it worse is, we might come to church hoping to find some rest at church. And what does the preacher do? He preaches about sin and death. And so I stay home hoping to find some rest at home. And what does guilt do? Guilt preaches, my conscience preaches about guilt. It's bad enough that we don't measure up to Facebook, but we don't measure up to God either. And if we don't measure up to God, the day is coming when we will have to pay. And that can be tiring, exhausting. Yeah. And so Jesus says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. How? He says, be of good cheer, your sins are forgiven. You don't have to carry that load of guilt, that load of sin. You don't have to try to pay your way right with God. You don't have to try to set yourself and make yourself right with God, because Jesus already did all of that for you. He already did that for you. With his life, with his death, with his blood. stretched out there on the cross. He already paid the price to set you right with God. So we don't have to live afraid of God waiting for to fall. We don't have to live trying to make ourselves likable to God, hoping that He might like us, because He already loves you. And that means that even when we mess up, even when things don't go our way, even when everybody around us, even those people we call friends, leave us in the lurch, we still have somebody in our corner. And He will not leave you. With Him, it doesn't matter if we can keep up with our Facebook friends or not. With Him, it doesn't matter whether we can keep up with the world around us, because He has a better world for you. And in that better world, we will all be better friends for each other. Because that better world, that better life He has for you is heaven. And that, my friends, is what makes Jesus to be the best of friends.